Poetry, Senses and Beyond. Nothing can cure the soul but the senses, just as nothing can cure the senses but the soul. Oscar Wilde. Poetry lives in another world, a world so ungraspable and yet a persistent memory of which remains seated under the deepest layers of human fantasy. Sometimes it comes elusively close, and we feel its presence engulfing our souls in the abstract robes of passion. Passion, which in turn is nothing but the distilled produce of the senses. A sound, a sight, a fragrance, a touch, a taste, transports us to that unfathomable realm where we take just one step ahead from the last frontiers of perception, and there we are. Suddenly, the world of opposites and paradoxes seems as distant as our blue planet must have seemed to the astronaut who looked at it from the window of the spacecraft and could cover its whole expanse behind a fingertip. हस्ती के मत फरेब में आ जाइयो असद, आलम तमाम हल्काए दामे ख्याल है. Get not trapped in the illusion of being. Whole of universe is nothing but a loop in the chain of thought. Welcome to the virtual world, the actual abode of God, the womb of all creation. Principles and prejudices, morals and ethics, beliefs and ideologies, gravity and space, eternity and time, all which till now has constituted our environment and hence constituted for us a separate identity, begins to evaporate. If you can imagine yourself at the center of this celestial hustle and bustle, you may experience the purity of inspiration before it turns into expression. Unintelligible sounds that would later become hymns for the ancients. Myths unwritten, David yet unrevealed to Michelangelo, the Last Supper or Mona Lisa still waiting for the strokes of Leonardo da Vinci, poetic visions of Hafiz, Rumi, Mir and Ghalib floating free, yet uncaught in the web of words. This emergence of paradoxes into oneness is the experience of the divine. Universes mix and merge, planets born and die, new stars are lit while older ones are put to rest. ले सांस भी आहिस्ता के नाजुक है बहुत काम, आफाक के इस कारगहे शीशागरी का. Let even the breath be silent, as fragile as the work of shaping the universe of mirrors. Let's now separate the poetic expression from other forms of revelation. A poet is not a prophet, and therefore not a reformer. Ideological restrictions would either kill the poetry or press it down to a much lower standard. Reformation demands a regimental regulation of rules. Hence, ideologies are more calculative. Basic distinction between mathematics and poetry is that digits tend to decrease the distance between expression and comprehension. That is to say, that mathematics primarily focuses on creating unanimously agreed upon solutions to its equations. Poetry, on the contrary, tends to create the emptiness between the said and the unsaid in such a way that the listener partakes in experiencing the visionary echo before it is clothed into words. आगही दामे शुनिदन जिस कदर चाहे बिछाए, मुद्दा अनका है अपने आलम तकरीर का. Knowledge may spread the nets of listening. Absent is the purpose in all that I say. An effort to find utility in beauty would distort the beauty itself. As Oscar Wilde put it in his customary eloquent fashion, we can forgive a man for making a useful thing as long as he does not admire it. The only excuse for making a useless thing is that one admires it intensely. All art is quite useless. Thankfully enough, an innate understanding of true beauty keeps beckoning to us, showing us the way back home. No matter how much we lay waste our powers in getting and spending, a subtle sensation at the core of our very souls keeps reminding us of the forgotten yet imperishable truth. वजह बेगानगी नहीं मालूम, तुम जहां के हो वहां के हम भी हैं. Why we remain strangers I do not know. We come from the same place, me and you. I recall reading a biography of President Reagan. One day, while he was seriously suffering from Parkinson's disease, he held a toy model of the White House tightly in his hands. His wife saw him and tried to pry away his fingers while asking, "Ronnie, do you know what this is?" He looked back at her with empty eyes and said, "I don't know what it is, but I know it has something to do with me. It has something to do with me." Beauty as a value is so intricately woven in the fabric of creation that it can never pass into oblivion. Trends and fashion are transitory, but after all the mists wither and all the fogs clear up and all the clouds disperse, what remains is the expanse of these ancient skies. Poetry, or at least good poetry, is that which makes us savor the eternity of existence, the recognition of which remains embedded in us so deep that all entertainment, all evolution, and all modernity has failed to deprive our palates of its taste, our hearing of its song, our eyes of its face, our memory of its fragrance, and our fingers of its texture. It keeps coming back. Thank you.